In the misty forests of Evershade, where ancient trees whispered secrets to the wind and silver rivers carved paths through the earth, there was a legend of a harp. Not just any harp, but the Harp of Serenity, forged by an ancient race of elves known as the Lyrian. The harp was said to hold magic in each string, a power so potent it could calm the fiercest storm or bring life to a dying field. But long ago, in the chaos of a forgotten war, the harp was lost, and its magic faded into myth. But for a young minstrel named Ilara, the harp was more than a legend. To her, it was destiny. Ilara was a girl of quiet determination, with eyes the color of dawn and a voice that could make stones weep. She grew up listening to tales of the Lyrian harp, passed down from her grandmother, who once glimpsed it in the halls of her youth. To Ilara, the harp wasn't just an object, it was the promise of a better world. One twilight, when the forest was veiled in soft, shadowy light, Ilara set out with her lute strapped to her back and a heart brimming with courage. The forest was vast and filled with creatures both wondrous and wild, but she walked with purpose, guided by an ancient map her grandmother had left her. It was worn and faded, marked with cryptic symbols and the names of places that no one remembered. Her journey led her deep into the heart of Evershade, where the sunlight grew thin and the air was thick with the scent of moss and ancient wood. Days passed, and Ilara faced many trials. She wove her way through thorny brambles that tore at her cloak and crossed a roaring river guarded by an irate water sprite. The sprite demanded a song in exchange for safe passage, and Ilara sang until her voice echoed off the stones and the water grew still, captivated by her melody. At last, Ilara found herself standing before an ancient stone archway hidden behind a curtain of vines. Etched in the stone was a single word in the old Lyrian tongue, Rilanthar, which meant the Keeper's Gate. She stepped forward, and the air shimmered around her as if she were stepping through a dream. On the other side, she found herself in a glade bathed in moonlight, and there, in the center, lay the harp. It was beautiful beyond words, a delicate frame of silverwood with strings that glistened like spun moonlight. But as she reached for it, a voice stopped her. "Only the worthy may play the Harp of Serenity," said a figure stepping out from the shadows. It was a tall, ethereal being, his skin tinged with silver and his eyes glowing with the light of stars. He was one of the last of the Lyrian, a guardian bound to protect the harp until a true heir arrived. Ilara swallowed, feeling the weight of her heart pounding in her chest. "I've journeyed far to find the harp, to bring its peace to my people. I have no other gifts but my music, but I swear I will honor its power." The guardian's gaze softened, and he nodded. "If you truly seek peace, then let your heart guide your hands." Ilara approached the harp, her fingers trembling as she plucked the first string. A gentle note filled the glade, and as she continued to play, the melody grew. It was a song of longing, of love lost and regained, of dreams that rose like stars in the darkest of skies. The forest itself seemed to breathe in rhythm with her song, the trees swaying and the night creatures pausing to listen. Then, something magical happened. As the final note faded, the harp's magic filled the air. The trees glowed with a gentle light, and the forest seemed to sigh in contentment. The harp had been awakened, and its ancient power was once again alive. The guardian smiled, his form flickering like a candle in the wind. "You have passed the test, Ilara. May your song bring peace to those who listen." With those words, he vanished, leaving her alone with the harp. Ilara knew then that she was now its keeper, bound to bring harmony wherever she went. She returned to her village, and soon tales spread of a minstrel whose music could heal wounds and calm tempests. She traveled across the land, her melodies mending the hearts of those who had lost hope, her music carrying the magic of the harp to every corner of the realm. And thus, the legend of the Harp of Serenity lived on, passed from ear to ear, from heart to heart, a melody that would echo through eternity.